Hey guys, so this is the first of two application sections with linear equations. So this first problem is the sum of 4 times a number and 3 is 27. So we've got to break down sort of what the words mean. So sum is going to mean we're going to add something 4 times. So it's going to be some kind of multiply. And is going to be an equals. And so in math, anytime you see is, that's usually meaning equals. So the sum of 4 times a number and 3. So we'll say 4 times a number, and we're going to do the sum and 3. So 4 times the number and 3 is our equals, and 27. And now we have a little linear equation that we've solved a bunch of times, and we can just isolate x and get our answer. So I'll subtract the 3 over, and get 24, and then divide out the 4. And we get x equals 6. For number 2, we have the infamous age problems. So this one goes, Gavin is 3 years older than Quinn. In 7 years, the sum of their ages will be 29. Find the age of each person now. So looking at the first sentence, Gavin is 3 years older than Quinn. So I don't know how old Quinn is, but I know Gavin's 3 years older. So I'm going to let Quinn equal x, and I'm going to let Gavin equal x plus 3. So then we have in 7 years, the sum of their ages will be 29. So here I just want to try to write an expression for their age 7 years from now. So if Quinn is x, Quinn's going to be x plus 7 in 7 years. If he was 10 now, he'd be 17 in 7 years. Gavin, he's x plus 3 plus 7, right? So x plus 3 plus 7, so that means he's x plus 10 in 7 years. And this is the sum of their ages in 7 years will be 29. So we have this one right here, this one right here, that's their ages in 7 years. So Gavin would be x plus 10, plus Quinn's age would be x plus 7, and that will be 29. Then once we do that linear equation, we're just collecting our terms. So I got x plus x, so that makes 2x. 10 plus 7, so that's 17, equals 29. And now we got it down consolidated, and we'll subtract the 17 and divide the 2. So it'll be 1, 2, and then divide the 2 over. And x equals 6. So that's fine, but what is x? So x was Quinn up here, so that means we know that Quinn is 6. Gavin is x plus 3, so that means we can put the 6 in right here, so he's 6 plus 3, or Gavin is 9. Okay, similar problem, a little bit different wording. James is twice as old as David 10 years ago, so now we're going into the past. The sum of their ages was 49. Find the age of each person now. So James is twice as old as David. So however old David is, James is twice that. 10 years ago, so say again, say David's 20, 10 years ago, he'd been 10, right? So we're saying 20 minus 10. So we'd say x minus 10 would be David's age 10 years ago. And then whatever James is, he's going to be 10 years less also. So we'll say, 2x minus 10. And then again, the sum of their ages was 49. So we can say x minus 10, minus, we'll just rewrite it. So that's David plus, that's the sum, 2x minus 10 for James, and that's going to make 49. And then I can just collect my like terms, so 3x there, because 1x plus 2x for 3x, down 10, down another 10 for minus 20. We're right back to the same spot. We'll add the 20 over. And so those cancel, that makes 69, and then divide over that 3, and we get x equals, 3 goes in twice, 23. And so 23 is going to be David's age, and so then James is 2x, that's David, and then James is 2x, so that would be 2 times 23, or 46, so that would equal James. Okay, this next one's pretty friendly. We got the perimeter of a square is 60 inches. Find the length of one side. Here I have, recall perimeter equals 4 times the side. On the exam, I will give you this, so you don't have to worry about memorizing that. In the homework, though, I don't think they give it in the problem, so hopefully you're looking at the notes and finding the formulas. So perimeter of a square is 60 inches, so okay, perimeter P is 60, and that's going to equal 4 times the side. So then if I want to find the length of one side, it's a not very hard problem. We just divide the 4, and then that's going to get us 4 goes into 60 15 times. So that would be the length of our side. This one, we got the length of a rectangle is 3 inches more than 4 times the width. So there's a little bit going on right there. The perimeter is 96. Find the length and width. Recall perimeter equals 2 lengths plus 2 widths. Okay, so coming back to the beginning, the length is 3 more than 4 times the width. So they're saying blah blah length is blah 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 width. So that means we want to let width be like the plane x, and then we'll write the length in terms of the width. So it's going to be 3 more than 4 times. So I can say 4x plus 3. And then, so this is my W, this is my L, and I'm going to plug those in right here. And then here we got 96 was our perimeter, so that's going to go right there. So let's see what that all looks like. So perimeter 96 equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, and the width is x. Something that has to happen in these linear equations is I can't have L's and W's. I can only have one variable if I have one equation, otherwise I can't solve it. And so you want to make sure you get everything converted. I could have done W here and called this 4W plus 3, but important to get these both in terms of the same variable. So in solving this out, I'm going to get 96. 2 times 4 makes 8x. 2 times 3 makes 6, and a 2x. And I'll collect some terms. So that'll be a 10x plus 6. We're right back to that spot, so I'll subtract the 6. And then I'll divide the 10. And so we get x equals 9, and x was our width. So that was the width. And then for the length equaled 4x plus 3, so now it's 4 times 9 plus 3, so that'd be 36, 39. And so that would be our length. So number 6 goes, one side of a triangle is 3 times the shortest, the third side is 4 more than the shortest, the perimeter is 44, find all 3 sides. And then for perimeter of a triangle, we just add up the sides is all. So we got one side is 3 times the shortest, third side 4 more than the shortest. So this first side, I'm going to let that one be the short one. I'm just going to call it x. So then the second side, and it doesn't really matter which one we call which, the second side is 3 times the shortest. So I'm going to let that be 3x. And the third side is 4 more than the shortest. So that's going to be x plus 4. So things like more and less is going to be add and subtract. Times is going to obviously be multiply. But sometimes that gets kind of mixed up. So then we got the perimeter is 44, so I can just say x plus 3x plus x plus 4 equals 44. Collect terms and solve. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 x's plus 4 makes 44. Just kick this 4 over, and we'll divide the 5. Cross that, and that gets 40. And so it looks like x is going to be 8. So once I know that x today is 8, it's asking me to find all 3 sides. So right here, this is now 8. If I put 8 right there, this would be 3 times 8. So this one's going to be 24. If I put 8 right here, 8 plus 4, that's going to be 12. And so that's kind of why I like making this list, is it makes it really easy, 1, to kind of set up my equation, and 2, to go back and get my answers. Okay, so number 7, John has 3 55 and quarters and dimes. If he has 3 more quarters than dimes, how many of each coin does he have? Okay, so he has, we don't really know how many quarters or dimes, obviously, so 3 more quarters than dimes. So I'm going to let dimes equal x, and then quarters can be x plus 3. So I know he has $3.55. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write that without the decimal. I'm going to think of it as 355. And what that's going to let me do is write the rest of the equation also without decimals. So dimes are worth 10 cents. So I'm going to say 10 cents times the number of dimes. Quarters are worth 25 cents. So I'm going to say 25 cents times the number of quarters, which is this x plus 3. You know, so like if you had 15 dimes, this would be 15 times 10, or $1.50 in dimes. So we're figuring out this much money in dimes, this much money in quarters, and that's going to equal that 355 up there. If I'd written the equation with the decimals, I'd have a decimal there, there, and right there. But for me, my preference is to do it without the decimals. So then solving, I'll get 10x plus 25x plus 75 equals 355. Putting those together, I got 35x and we're right back at that spot, so I'm just going to subtract the 75 and then I'll divide the 35. So that's going to make 35x equals 280, and then divide over the 35. And we get x equals 8. And so again, coming back up here, x was dimes, so that would be our dimes. And then quarters was x plus 3, so 8 plus 3 would make 11 quarters. Cool. And that concludes 1.6 applications.